Hello YouTube. There's my little girl. The reason I'm wearing this hat is because I'm growing my hair and it's not looking too nice anymore, so I'm trying to get down to having shoulder length hair, but no, it's just sticking everywhere right now, so I'm wearing this do-rag right now. My dad just turned 71.
I thought it was 75.
And we were in well, I forgot to mention it last video I made. Scott Rogers was also took me over to see my dad, because since I don't have a license yet, I can't drive, so even though he's not that far away from me, I can't really go over and see him that often. But he took me over there, so anyway, I got a little something I need to do. I got this video, email on YouTube from this school in Denmark. These kids are doing a school project, and they wanted me to answer a few questions about my life, so I'm Amish. So I'm doing a little video for that. So here we are from his school called, well, I can't pronounce that, so I'll put it in the credits. In Denmark, our questions are: how long were you Amish? Well, first time I left I was 13, next time 16, and then 18 was the last time I left. Did Amish play music? We can't find any. No, they don't play music. They do sing hymns at church, but and their singings, which is the Sunday evenings for the young people. Why and when did you leave the Amish? As I said, first time I left I was 13, and then I left again when I was 16. The first time I returned home about 3 days after I left, and second time I returned home about 3 months later, and then, well, that was because if you're a teenager and you run away from home, well, you'd be a runaway, and the parents can get you to come back home. You see, the cops, well, they had me come back home, and I stayed there until I was 18. And why? Okay, now that's kind of a long story. I'll get into that later on. Did you use any electronic slings, and which? No, we didn't have any electronics. That, as far as according to the church, no, we did have some that we were not supposed to have, like radios and stuff, or stuff we hid in hiding spots, and then later went out and listened to them, but we weren't supposed to have them. In fact, tell you a little story of my brother's first radio. I'm not sure how old I was, but I must have been about 6 or so, and he and I were going to town to buy some groceries. We went to the hardware store. He had $20, and he wanted to buy this radio. He had $20. There's my baby here. He had $20, and he wanted to get that radio so bad. He just kept going back and forth. Till I finally just told him, go get it. And he's 4 years older than me, and I'm like 6, and he's 10. Here we are trying to, or somewhere in that area. Maybe I was 7 and he was 11. I don't know. He's like 4 years older than me. But he ended up getting his radio, but he was so nervous that we went to get the groceries, he got Diet Mountain Dew instead of the regular, which he didn't want to drink anyway. But anyway, okay, let's move on. Do you still have contact with the people? Well, not really. I mean, I don't have a car to go visit, but as I said earlier that I went to go see my parents when Scott Rogers was up here. See the other videos for information on that. Can a stranger become a part of the Amish culture? No. That is kind of a tough one. There are some that have become a part of it, but very, very rarely. And now I'm also, let me remind you that I'm speaking of one sect of the Amish. There are several sects of Amish, and I was from what I would consider the second strictest one. There is one that's stricter than the Swarthy Troopers, and that is the one that requires all horse-drawn power. I mean, they don't allow any engines whatsoever, including to wash your clothes. They have everything powered by windmill, water, and horses. They don't have any engine power. Now, the Sword Troopers do allow horses and engines, but they don't allow cars. And there's others who do allow cars, and there's some that say they allow cars that you, or say you own a business and you can own the truck, but you can't have it in your name. You put the insurance on, and you hire somebody to drive it, everything. That is the way they run their businesses. I work for one of those guys, by the way. Those are the old order. Okay. Do the Amish have any contact with the outside world? Yes, to some extent, yes. They do have some contact with the outside world. They do have, especially, say, if they want to go have use the phone. They use some use their freezers to freeze water, and they have to have, if they're going to have a driver, they're going to have to have somebody from the outside to drive this vehicle. Or say there's
emergency in the family that they need to go to the hospital or whatever, yeah, they do have contact with the outside world. When you are a stranger, a teenager, can you go out and see the world? Okay, there's, again, that's the different sects have different rules. For example, the Swordsman Troopers don't allow cars whatsoever as far as for you to drive. You're not allowed to have a driver's license because that would be a picture, and you're not allowed to have a picture taken. Now, that is not like the older orders. They have, I'm not sure how they do it, but I was told by this one employer that I was working for, as I previously mentioned, that they had ID cards, just like state ID cards that I would have, only they have written on their card, instead of a picture, it says ballot without photo written on it, because they didn't allow photos. So their photo ID is ballot without photo, which is kind of weird, but that's, I guess, some kind of deal they made with the state or whatever. I'm not sure how that works. Okay, getting back to the why of why I left. Let's talk about that for a minute. When I was, let's go back to when I was 13 years old when I first left. My sister had left, well, she was planning on leaving, I guess I should say. She was married, and her husband had a car, and, well, none of the Amish knew that, but they knew that some relatives were having a church service at one of my cousin's house, and among those was my sister. So my sister lived next door to us on our property. So that morning in June 2004, I woke up and I didn't know what was going on, but I was told that my family was supposed to move over to my brother's place, where they're currently living at now. And even my dad did not know about this supposed move. And so there was this kind of, me being 13, my sister 15, we were, by the way, I'm from a family of 11, so I have a lot of brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest. So we were pretty upset, and we decided we were gonna run away. Now, being 13, I couldn't find a job. There was no way I could do anything. Nobody would even hire me at that age, and so I. Sorry, I hope this is the last. Sorry, I hope this is the last time I get interrupted, but I've had quite a few interruptions throughout the night trying to make this video. Okay, I couldn't get a job at 13. I went home, lived with my parents for a couple of years, and then at 16 I left and stayed with my was to Mass for a couple years, and then I mean a couple months, a couple years, and then I went to. Then my dad had. After I came back home, my dad, I worked with him for a couple years, and he had this accident, paralyzed him, and that time my brother broke my ankle, and so I ended up that I decided I had enough, and when I was 18 that I just left. I hope this kind of explains it. It's kind of scattered, I think, but I'm gonna need somebody that said I should have a book written. So I don't know, maybe I should. So my little girl's over here playing. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.